very good morning from a very beautiful and very sunny Melbourne. I'm just sat here now waiting for the tram to head towards the Botanical Gardens. Got recommended that as a really nice spot to go to, so I'm going to try and do some sort of I was going to walk it, but I saw it was like nearly an hour to walk it, so I was like, probably not the best use of time, walking for an hour, particularly when it's quite warm as well. So I'm tramming it down there, 20 minutes to get down to the Botanical Gardens. That's the furthest out I think I need to go. And then I'm just going to gradually work my way back through, hopefully see some spots like the MCG, because I didn't really get to see it yesterday. All the things that are in and around the Botanical Gardens. I know there's some like churches or cathedrals, things as well. Loads of stuff I've got sort of in my head from looking at the maps as a good sort of route. I'm just going to work my way back towards the hotel, probably for like 5:30, something like that, and then I'll be heading to the airport, so I'm flying back to Sydney tonight. So yeah, it's all pretty much planned out, not fully but loosely planned out. Got to sometimes freestyle a bit with these things. And just look for yourself as well. This is just where I'm at for the tram stop. There's not a single cloud like anywhere in the sky. It is so beautiful. Not a cloud at all. It's probably about 25 degrees right now as well. I've stopped by for a spot of brunch at this place called Kettle, which is near the Anzac Memorial, and I've got an iced mocha which tastes fantastic. And here's a little thing that I've never seen before. It's melted now because I just realised it, but it comes with a scoop of ice cream. Well, that's kind of what's left of it. It came with a scoop of ice cream on top as well. Fantastic. This is a hot cake, so I've never had a hot cake before ever. It's like a big baked pancake almost, with some like mascarpone on top, berries and seeds. So let's give this a whirl. So, thoughts on the hot cake? Look, it literally is like a little. I thought when I googled it said pancakes, but it genuinely is like a little baked cake. But it's really good. Literally just get the mascarpone, the berries, the seeds, everything on there. Really good. Probably the healthiest thing I've had for a while. It's always hard on trips to get good food in. Yes, albeit the sponge cake isn't the healthiest, but just the fact of having all these seeds and nuts and fruit and stuff, I've not had anything like this so far. I've had a few boxes of strawberries as snacks, but I've not had anything like this, say, with all the seeds and nuts and things as well. So yeah, I'm going to smash through this now and then get exploring, because the sun's still shining. Like, it's such a surreal experience as an English person in winter to be sat somewhere that feels almost like England in terms of the culture, but better, but still like a bit like England. Yet it's 25, 26 degrees, there's not a cloud in the sky, and it's January. You can't beat it. We've got ice mocha number 2 here, so you can see what I mean now about the ice cream in it. I've actually clocked it straight away this time, so we've got like 1 or 2 scoops of ice cream in there. Smashing. That was some seriously filling food. That hot cake, I could only finish about half of it. It was absolutely huge, just like a whole baked cake thing. I'm taking back what I said about it being healthy. I've literally just eaten a whole cake, or half a cake there, with some berries sprinkled on top. So I don't think that quite does up for the facts of it, but still, it was tasty. It was very filling. I need to get moving now and get active, just to kind of like work it off and wear it off, because I'm real fit to burst. And I'm just walking up now to the Botanical Gardens, but straight away you get like a little throwback to the Empire here. So behind me was the memorial for the Boer War, which was the war in South Africa between the British and the Zulus. If you've ever seen the film Zulu or Zulu Dawn, here we are behind me with some lions there on each corner. Yeah, if you've ever seen the films Zulu or Zulu Dawn from the 60s, that's what the war was about, or the film was about, which was that war. Definitely recommend giving a watch them films. Actually, maybe because I have very fond memories of my granddad showing with them when I was younger, but they're quite good movies actually. Very accurate and very eye-opening to what it was like during the British Empire. I think it was during the Victorian times. So yeah, you can see here, this was erected in memory of the Australians who gave their life in the Boer War, in South Africa between 1899 and 1902. So, well, we're going back 130 years nearly to that point. So I'm walking across now. I've got Southern Cross Station, I think is what it's called, over to the left. Oh, sorry, Anzac Station even it says, which I'm getting confused with my station names here. So it's called Anzac Station. Oh yeah, that's it. Southern Cross is where I've got to get the bus from later to go to the airport. So this is Anzac Station here. So if you are going to come to the Botanical Gardens from the bottom side, then probably the closest station is Anzac Station to come from. I got off a stop before because I nipped out to go to breakfast at Kettle Black. But if you were wanting to come just straight to the memorial, then this is the station that you want to come to. It's called Anzac Station. And there's that memorial again in the background. Just look how beautiful this is, just walking through. This is the Garden of Remembrance. Not a single cloud in the sky. Very quiet as well. Literally the roads are quiet, the park's quiet, which is a nice thing. It's not overrun, even at this nicer time of year. For those wondering as well, yes, this is the t-shirt that I picked up yesterday as well. This is a New Balance t-shirt that I got from the Australian Open, which was a $60 t-shirt, £30. Really nice fit on it, a lot better fit than the Ralph Lauren stuff, and half the price as well. Actually feels a bit nicer as well. So yeah, picked this up. One of those nice little souvenirs. I'm not really a massive person for getting random souvenirs. Obviously I collect my, try to collect fridge magnets. More of a sentimental thing, only something small, but I would never buy things normally just for the sake of it. But yeah, this is it was a nice little purchase. If you do go to the tennis, keep an eye out for some of the special merch they've got, because it's pretty nice stuff that they've got in there, and there's loads of different brands and things. So just walking up to the memorial now, and I can see there's so many different buildings and things around here across this park. So that's the first spot here. I'm going to walk up these steps and see what the view's like. Down there, there's actually people up on top as well of this spot here. So this is called the Garden of Remembrance. So I'm going to walk up the stairs now, and here's what I'm looking at. So this is the view. And you can see right down there where that big tall building is. That's the Central Business District, and you probably can't see it right here, but in the middle point there's a gold bit there, and that is where a lot of the penthouses and things are, I'm told. So there's a lot of very expensive, very nice apartments in there for some of Melbourne's wealthiest residents or visitors. This building here, you can see it says that this monument was erected by the grateful people to the honoured memory of the men and women of Victoria who served the Empire in the Great War of 1914 to 1918. So that there specifically a memorial for the fallen soldiers in the First World War. I think it's something that's probably massively underplayed, is the importance and significance of the Commonwealth and other nations that were part of the Empire still during the wars. Obviously the Australians and Canadians contributed massively to the effort during the First and Second World Wars, and obviously, like I've seen as well during the Boer War as well, not even just the World Wars, they obviously contributed massively to Britain and to its endeavours and what it had going on. And when you walk around the side, look at this for a view here. So you get the view. I'm going to head there in a second, but you can see straight down from there all the Central Business District, and you've got the Australian flag up there, and also believe that's the Aboriginal flag as well, next to it as well. And this is the view right from the front part here. So again, you've got all the CBD over there, and right across you can see there's like a church and things down the middle, and lots of tall buildings over there. And one thing you can't see at all is a single cloud in the sky.
you would be forgiven as well for thinking that to get into this and to go to the top, like some people there for the view, that you would naturally go there to the front, but actually there's a sign, all the doors are shut. You've got to come down these steps and to the right and walk through some underpassage. I'm not sure if it's like some like underground entrance or something like that. I don't quite know, but somehow you get into it from underneath. You don't actually get into it from within the building itself. And there we have it from the front as well. Spot the Brits. You see them walking around with umbrellas. Get some sun on your skin. Not going to see it back in England, bloody hell. Amazing building though, amazing walking around here. So I'm going to try and locate exactly where the Botanical Gardens are, because I'm looking at the maps and keeps pointing me to different places. So I think it's down there to the right. But yeah, this whole Shrine of Remembrance, it's an amazing building. If you've ever been to Washington DC, the Lincoln Memorial, it's the closest thing I can relate it to, because you kind of got the memorial up on the hill, and ironically obviously they're both memorials to different things, but so you got a memorial up on a hill followed by some steps, and then just a long straight path looking down in towards the city, which is pretty much the exact same job in Washington DC. You've just got the memorial pools, those long stretches of water in DC, and again then a lot of the things dotted around are all different memorials, all related to different wars, and pretty much all the wars that Australia's been involved in, so is America as well, so there's a lot of crossover in the sense of what they're actually relating to as well. Right, found it eventually. If you keep looking hard enough and keep walking the right way, you'll eventually find the right place, and I have. So, Royal Botanical Gardens here in Melbourne. I'm told that it's a beautiful spot, a must see, and on a day like today, if it's going to be a good day for it, then, well, I don't really think you can get better than today. It's currently 24 degrees, light breeze, no clouds in the sky at all, and the UV is pumping, which is a bit of a and it's a weird sensation, because I remember, like, probably more prominently, I was in Mexico a year and a bit ago for my birthday. Had a couple of weeks in Cancun, sunny every day. It's November, kind of like peak season, late November, early December. I was there every day, mid-20s, sunshine, even high 20s some days, and the UV barely got above, it was like 5 or 6. Yeah, I'm here, and it's not too dissimilar time of year. It's actually cooler. It's 23 degrees here, and the UV right now is UV 12. Like 12! I've never seen 12, I don't think, in Europe ever. It's probably like places like Cyprus and Turkey that in peak summer will get that high, but I've never really clocked a 12 before in Europe. So that's why the sunglasses are on the head, because yes, it's sunny, but I don't need them on right now, and I've been making the mistake so far on this trip of wearing them too much, because they're a pair of Oakleys. I love them, absolutely love these sunglasses, my favourite ones. I do have some Ray-Bans, but stupidly I left them in the UK. Got a few pairs, and I had one pair that I wanted to bring to keep it switched up, but I forgot them, left them in the UK. Just like my Birkenstocks, also forgot them and left them in the UK, so cocked up twice on that one, with sunglasses and also some footwear that I would have liked to have worn quite a bit on this trip, but you know, hey ho, we make mistakes. So brought the Oakleys, and they are full polarised, which is brilliant for keeping the sun out to see. Not so good if you're trying to get an even tan, because it's so good at blocking out the UV that no UV gets through. So I did end up in, I think it was Airlie Beach or Cairns or somewhere, did end up with a serious case of panda eyes, where I had a very, well, getting on tanned face, let's just say, with white eyes. So I look like almost like a red panda. So if you want to avoid that, then I'd almost say get some less good sunglasses that aren't polarised, that maybe let through a bit of UV, or just do it like me, where you just rotate it. And days like today, where the sun is, you can see it's like right overhead, it's just shining right down. I'm not looking directly into it, and it's high UV. pop them on your head at that point. So whilst I've been rambling on, you can probably see the Botanical Gardens behind. Some beautiful trees. We've got the palm trees and things behind, so it's a bit like Cairns. We've got the grass as well. One thing as well, if you don't know if anyone's watching this is a sufferer of the old hay fever, or the pollen allergies, for those who not heard the term hay fever before if you're not British. I don't seem to suffer from it ever abroad. I'm here and this should be probably peak hay fever season right now. You know, pollination of tree and grass and weed, all those sorts of things. By weed I mean weeds, not the the smoking kind. So yeah, it's normally I don't actually know which ones I'm allergic to. It could be grass, it could be weed pollen, it could be tree pollen, but there's always one or two that seem to get me in the British summer. But never experienced it abroad, touch wood. And you know, I'm walking around all sorts of things here, and allergies aren't even flaring up in the slightest. So if it is a case that I don't get it in Australia, then it makes moving to Australia even more of an incentive, the fact that I can go out in summer without getting a blocked nose or sneezing or anything like that. And any of my fellow hay fever sufferers out there, you'll know how miserable it is when you get struck down on a nice summer's day and you just feel tired and groggy and you have a blocked nose. It's horrible. And right on cue, we've got a big lake. Now I'll go for it again because I had to cut because I had a fly on my face. Let's try again. This fly will not leave me alone, but it's a nice little river here, so I'm just going to pause and get a photo. Oh, and a very quick call out to say, if you haven't done so far and you're liking the videos, please hit subscribe to the channel, and also if you're enjoying this video, smash a like. It means so much for me. I love creating travel content, I love traveling, and I love to keep growing the channel this year and see just how far, you know, we can take this thing. The bigger the following, the more adventures I can do, and there's a lot of things I do want to do, ranging from, you know, like more of Australia to Japan and China, places like that. I've got loads more of Europe to tick off. I think Lisbon's going to be hot on the list this year. I'd really like to go there, and Budapest. They're probably the two that I'd most like to tick off, but Seville's also up there as well. So if you've been to any of those cities as well, hit me up on Instagram or something like that. Let me know your thoughts, any recommendations, or if you also want to let me know in the comments or Instagram, whatever, where you're planning to head to this year. I'd love to hear from you. If I can give you any recommendations as well, I will do. Australia is now country 42 for me that I've been to, so there's a half decent chance that I may have been somewhere that you're wanting to go as well. So if you want to know more about a place potentially, do hit me up. The vlogging obviously only started last year when I've done a few countries for vlogs, but done plenty of travelling before that. So yeah, a lovely little spot here by the waterfront even. If I can turn this thing around, there we go. Just please ignore those people making out down there. Lovely little spot here by the water, some little ducks over there. Plenty of people out chilling, relaxing, but it's not like, I've been to certain places in London, I think it's like Hyde Park and places like that always seem to get properly overrun on days like this, but it's nice and quiet. I keep saying it, but I don't know if I've just come on some really quiet week or something, but like I don't think I have, because it's the Australian Open right now, so surely a lot of people will be here in Melbourne doing these sorts of things. So yeah, it's nice and quiet. It's definitely like, okay, now that was a loud bird. That's a weird bird. Sorry, there's some bird making, look at this. It's that little bird thing there. Sounds like a little horn. Yeah, it definitely feels like a lot less populated, or it doesn't feel overpopulated, might be the better way of saying things. I think the place is a lot more spread out here. Obviously you've got people in the CBD, but the suburbs spread out quite far and wide as well, so it's not like everyone's crammed or condensed into one area compared to the places. There's not loads of like high-rise tower blocks, apartments and flats here like you see in places like London and Manchester now. Here's another lovely view across the water. Just this big lake in the middle that stretches all around. Oh, look, you can go literally just there as well as people are going out punting down the river as well. So you've got people, they're dressed like classic sailors with the little straw hats on. And you've got people with almost like an Asian style. You can see there, got like an Asian style little umbrella thing. There, just pop one there. It's 90 bucks. 90 bucks for 3 people, I think. I don't think it's per person, I think that is per boat. 90 bucks, max 3 people on there. So like 15 quid each if there were 3 of you for a little guided tour for half an hour. I'd say that's alright, to be honest. If you're looking for a spot to stop as well for a eat or a drink as well, as this place here called The Terrace. That'd be a really nice spot for some lunch or a coffee or an ice cream. Not that you'd want coffee in this weather. It'd be an iced coffee, unless you're a maniac. I don't know, can anyone do hot drinks in hot weather? I know I can't. I feel it feels like suicide trying to do a tea or something or a coffee in hot weather. Ice though, different story. So you come out of the Botanical Gardens, the bridge that takes you right over to AAMI Park, which is the home of the Melbourne Storm, the NRL team, so that's a rugby league team here in Melbourne, one of the best teams, definitely of my lifetime over the past 20 years. We've grown up watching some amazing players like Billy Slater and Cameron Smith, Cooper Cronk, etc. all playing over there at that stadium. So you walk over the bridge, you've got the river, which is, we came down here last night but not quite this far. So you've got all the central business districts up there, keeps stretching around, and you've got AAMI Park there. So I'm going to head around and try and get a bit of a closer look. And then behind that stadium, which is, I think it's about a 40,000 seat stadium, we've got the biggest stadium in Australia, the biggest stadium in all of Oceania, which is the MCG, the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Such a shame that I'm not here for an AFL game or something like that at the MCG, or a cricket game or anything. Like, to see that place packed out would be incredible. And at 100,000 seats, I think that would be the biggest stadium I've ever been to. I've been to Wembley Stadium, but Wembley Stadium is 90,000. I've done Old Trafford, which is the biggest club football stadium in... a fly in my face. Like I was saying, Old Trafford, the biggest club stadium in England, and that is 74,000. It gets a bit smaller every year. Old Trafford, so I've done that. Done a Dallas Cowboys Stadium, which I think can expand up to a lot more for concerts, but for actual sports games, I think it's about 90,000. Again, I've been to the Bernabeu and to the Nou Camp. Don't think they're as big as that as well. So at 100,000, there's not many stadiums. I'm thinking about like the Rose Bowl in Pasadena with the college football stadium. That's 110,000, but there can't be that many stadiums in either, you know, the Western world or anywhere really that's as big as the MCG at 100,000. And it amazed me as well to see that it's not even remotely new. I think it's 1855 it was built. It's over 150 years old, yet it's still standing and still in use as a famous stadium. And you know, it's not had to be reduced even for safety reasons. That's kind of what's happened with Old Trafford. I think it's had to sort of get reduced by a few thousand due to safety reasons and putting more disabled seats and things like that, but it's still over 100,000 here. So massive bucket list thing is to come back in the future and to hit up a game and not get killed by flies, because there's so many flies over this river. Yeah, it'd be a massive bucket list thing to come and see a game here at AAMI Park or at the MCG. So I think March to September is probably the best time for it. I'm thinking rugby league season is around about then here in Australia, and I know that I know the AFL starts soon as well. I was watching something about a big player got injured in pre-season, so I saw it on the news, so must mean the season's pretty close for AFL. These flies were right annoyance. That's one thing, that's probably the only downside to this place. I mean, I know everywhere has flies or little bugs or something, but bloody hell, walking off that bridge, I was fighting for my life, and I had so many flying around me. You probably could, if the camera picked them up, very good, you'll probably see some flying around me, but they were everywhere, all around the camera, which is an absolute pain in the backside when you're trying to record. And there it is from the outside. That is AAMI Park. Like I said, home of the Melbourne Storm. So I'm just walking through the AAMI Park, car park. And there we are, so we've got Melbourne FC, the Rebels, the Storm and the Victory. So we've got 4 teams, I believe, that are all playing here right now. Well, not right now, but use this stadium for their seasons. Talk about this for an absolute mecca of sport in one confined area. You've literally got the Storm Stadium there. You've got the tennis there, which of course is one of the 4 Grand Slam tennis events of the year, one of the biggest tennis events of the year. And then behind, like I say, you've got the MCG, one of the biggest and most famous cricket stadiums, and also AFL stadiums. Obviously cricket is in the whole world and AFL is just played here, so in all of Australia. And then to top it off, you've actually got all the metro system running down here as well. And then right behind, you can see there, we've got all the CBD as well. So like everything is just around here. There's so much. Like if you were a sports fan like me, you can literally watch every single sport here, apart from like the country specific ones, like NFL, that's only really big. There's probably an American football team somewhere in Melbourne. I wouldn't put it past them. There's teams everywhere nowadays. But in terms of actually, big top standard teams, you've literally got your football. Obviously, you've got tennis going on. You've got rugby league. I think there's rugby union as well. You've got the AFL. You've got and then the horse racing as well. There's I've got some people who I know who live in Melbourne. I'm sure I saw they were at the horse racing as well around Boxing Day as well. So you can go to horse racing. Like I say, you literally can't think of anything you can't do. Oh, and Formula 1 also comes to Melbourne, and I believe the MotoGP also comes to Melbourne. So you've got a combination, literally, aside from getting an NFL international game over here, which in a place like the MCG, that would be incredible to see. Like really incredible. I don't think you could probably have a better choice in all of Asia and Australasia than the MCG probably for a game of NFL. So unless they get an NFL game here, you've pretty much got every single sport ticked off. Here I am inside the MCG. So I was walking past it and I saw they've got some stadium tours on. Jumped inside, it's currently 2 PM. I checked online and the soonest tour I could get on was 2:30, so I thought there must be a 2:15 tour. Came in and there was, so just got booked straight on that. Only $35 to £17 for a 75-minute tour around the stadium, so should fit in quite nicely. I couldn't come here and not see the stadium, and even better, there's actually a game on right now. So if you see behind me there, wait for the camera to focus in, there we go. We've got, someone, I hope it caught that, someone's just been caught out. It's like an MCC Select 11 versus someone else, the guy was mentioning on ticket booking, so I'm not sure if it's in like famous ex-pros or things playing, or it's just sort of members or what of the MCC. But yeah, still pretty cool to come in and see an actual game going on, which will be going on during the tour. So got like 10 minutes or so to chill, and then we'll be going around the stadium, so I'm guessing it'll be a normal stadium tour, change rooms, all that sort of thing. Fun fact about me, one of my first jobs ever when I was at university was actually as a stadium tour guide. Answer the postcard in the comments if you can guess which team it was for. I'll give you a clue. It's a Premier League team based in the north of England, established Premier League team as well, not a yo-yo team. So yeah, if you can guess which team it was, then I'll have a guess. Let me know in the comments, and I'll let you know if you got it right or got it wrong. But yeah, give me 10 minutes and then we'll be on this tour.
Right. So you have
Wow. And here we are, walking in to the MCG. Just imagine being here for like an AFL final or something like that when there's 100,000 people here all for an Ashes test.
Costs you about $120 to be nominated onto the waiting list. You have to have 2 members sign your nomination.
Amazing stadium. It's hard to I hope it comes from the video, but it's hard to get in the scale of just how big it is. It's huge, but I think it's a cricket stadium as well. If it's so wide, it hasn't got to be like massively tall like a Wembley or something like that, which has got a much smaller pitch on it.
We can still get into change room too. So is that where the players come down? Yep, they come down by the races, so that's fascinating. Okay, you just come in here. This gentleman's probably heard this 10 times today. So this is change room 2, mirror image. So this would have been India's change room when they were here, because on one side, Australia always says change room 1, the away side, whether it's India or whoever we're playing, England. If you've ever seen an AFL game on TV and they cut to the change room, they're running around, they're kicking footballs, it's a million people. It's a room of highs and lows, so certainly definitely during the football season, it's chairs, television, and he also worked for Melbourne Cricket Club. So it was a broken to the street station. So what if we could come into the MCG or anywhere else, can get the tram to Flinders Street. We've then got a choice of a tram on Wellington Parade. Trams come out here to the tennis. We've got the last bit to be renewed. So we have the Olympic stand, which is the white circle, and the members stand, and this is the Ponsford stand. So this was finished in 2006. The next one slated for renewal is this one over here, which is now called the Shane Warne stand because of Shane Warne's unfortunate passing at a very young age. Not sure when that's going to happen because these people
additions, and we always have little exhibitions at different times. So at the moment it's about the women's cricket, because we've got the women's cricket test coming up on the 30th. The first one was between Australia and England on the 30th of January. Over here we have our oldest book, which is from 1611. It's a French and English dictionary. Obviously it wasn't printed in Australia because we didn't have those things in
amount of experience.
So there's a trophy named after you.
Yes. And who's the other person who's named after? Until 2006. So you see our First Nations, our first cricket team, our first game of AFL rules. Here I think this is about 1856 or something. They had a game under lights. Didn't take up, obviously, because I don't know how they did that. Had a few poles around the ground. Get here to the middle. One of the things that, even if you're from Melbourne, people find very interesting, the American flag here. This was actually an American army base during World War II. So I know you people come from countries, a lot of you with snow and that sort of thing, but it can get quite cold here in the winter in Melbourne, so I wouldn't fancy sleeping out in one of those old stands that I was talking about with like those open seats and the backs open. The 56 Olympics, and as I said, we've had lots of other things. The 3 tenors, we've had a papal visit here, and rugby, and the other football. Everything here. So people who have AFL teams will find one.
So number 189 there is Mr. Muscat. Any Sheffield United fans or any football fans in general will remember him from that famous Neil Warnock rant.
Hey, serves you right for fucking Muscat, that. Fucking serves you right with him.
MCG Tour done in the bank. Great stadium to see. The biggest stadium I've ever been to in my life, anywhere in the world. First stadium I think I've been to that's over 100,000 capacity. Impressive on a different scale because obviously it's 150 plus years old. So big, so many big sports there. Obviously it hosts things like the AFL Grand Final, the famous Boxing Day test that's played every year between India and Australia in the cricket as well. Many famous events, things like Taylor Swift concerts that were on last year and other big pop stars, rock and roll stars, etc. played there over the years. Very impressive place, different to somewhere like I've been to AT&T Stadium in Dallas to see my beloved Cowboys. Won't talk about the fact they lost, but yeah, went there a few years ago. That's an impressive stadium, but for different reasons. You know, with I think it has the biggest or second biggest jumbotron in the world, hanging down from the middle of the stadium. I've been to places like SoFi Stadium as well in Los Angeles, the most expensive stadium in history. Again, amazing stadium, but for different reasons. Definitely worth ticking it off. It's only £17 or $35 for the tour of the MCG. You get to see everything, changing rooms, lower level, upper level, behind the scenes. Really good tour, hour and a quarter, so nothing too long, nothing too taxing, but you still get to cover everything off. So, what's next? Well, I'm going to head over to St Patrick's Cathedral. So I'm going to head up there. It's about a 20-minute walk, head through the park to get up there, and then I'm going to go down probably by the riverside after that. So 20-minute-ish walk. I'm going to head up there now, and next stop, the cathedral. The park behind me as well, that's called Yarra Park, and then where I'm heading to get to the cathedral, it's called Fitzroy Gardens, which is where you got to walk through. Another very beautiful walking spot here. Just a nice chill place to walk through, and you've got the option, so there's basically a number of different ways you can go through. I've taken a route slightly to the right that's shaded, or he says whilst the sun's shining on him, about 80% shaded from the trees and the canopies above. But if you want to go for a straight sun route, you can literally, I could have gone left and gone straight through the sun, but yeah, not got any cream on today, so I don't fancy just walking straight out in the sun. So yeah, plenty of nice places to go. This is the crazy thing as well, that there's just so many parks out here that look beautiful and it's so quiet. They are so quiet. You get literally, I'm looking out on this grass space here, you've got one or two people sat out reading, a few people sat here on the benches, but outside of that it's so quiet and so peaceful. There's no like tourist traps or them really annoying things like tuk-tuks with loud music, or you know, like when you're around London you get loads of people basically trying to scam you, doing things like those Turkish cup games which happen on like Westminster Bridge and places like that. Not seen any of that crap around here. It's just people genuinely out here, tourists or residents, just being respectful, chilling, not too busy, no loud annoying crap that you see in places like London or Paris or Barcelona even. Yeah, just very good vibe. And again, this is the peak time of year, so if you were gonna see the annoying touristy crap, you'd see it now. And yeah, I'm not seeing anything like that, to be honest. So we're getting pretty near to the cathedral now. You can see it just there behind me actually, so if you get to that fountain, you know you're near. And then I'm going to spin the camera around, you'll see up there is a spire. It's not crooked like the one in Chesterfield, it's a straight spire pointing out from above all the greenery here. I wish it was like this in Ho Chi Minh City. That was probably the most unenjoyable part of being in Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon. Everywhere you walk, you're just overwhelmed by the smell of fumes from all the 8 million plus motorbikes that are just crammed into the city. Whereas here, I've got a coastal breeze, I'm in a park, loads of trees, like the air quality here. And again, not many cars either, and there's quite a lot of EVs and hybrids and things, and obviously you've got the underground, the trams, all things like that, which are obviously very clean. So yeah, the air quality here, it feels fantastic, it feels very refreshing. You can definitely feel it. I'm one of those people where I've never really actually clocked the air quality as much until I went to Ho Chi Minh City. And ever since I went there, it's really opened my eyes to just what poor air quality looks like. But here in Melbourne, fantastic, really, really good. If I'm wrong, please tell me so, if Melbourne's known for its bad air quality and whatnot, but I'm walking in just mile after mile, kilometre after kilometre of just parks, open spaces, trees, very few cars on the road. Literally there is no cars going past right now at all, not a single car. We've got one right now going up the street, nothing else coming up, nothing else coming down, and it's a hybrid that's going up as well. Here we are outside the cathedral. There's a fella called O'Connell there, up on a plinth. So let's go inside. I'm not sure if I'll be able to film inside. There's some signs here. There's a sacred ceremony in progress right now apparently. So I'm going to assume that means no. Thing about this DJI camera that I use, the Osmo Mini Pocket, is that it's very discreet to film. So I'm not sure if there is actually, there's definitely not a ceremony going on, but there's people praying or paying their respects in here. My face has got an interesting tinge to it as well because the lights here are tinted, or the windows I should say. The windows are like a yellowy stained glass. So I'll see if I can get up near the altar and I'll show you the big stained glass at the back as well. Like all big churches, it's got a very big, very impressive stained glass. Okay, so that was the altar. It's quite big, but it's one of the less impressive churches, I must say. The yellow windows aren't quite doing it. I'm not sure if they were always yellow or if they got changed for some reason, but they're not really a vibe. There's a stained glass window that is much more impressive than the yellow windows, I'd say. Couldn't get out there quick enough. That's definitely one of the most boring churches that I've been to. Not that I'm any sort of expert, but bloody boring in there. There's just the one stained glass window, and that's your lot. I've been to a lot smaller, a lot more impressive churches or cathedrals. There's a lot better ones in Europe than that, even in some smaller places like the one I went to in Bologna. Insane, and that's just pretty bang average. Nice stained glass window, but I mean everywhere's got a stained glass window. The local church in the village that I lived in when I went to primary school, we used to have to go to church a few times a year. I think that had more impressive stained glass windows than this old boy here. Rather frustratingly, I've just missed the tram by about 30 seconds, so no way I was running for it, because I also wasn't sure it was the right one, but now I've checked, it turns out it was, but there's no way I could have made it. So got a couple of minutes here at this interesting tram stop that literally just is, it's like a bus stop almost, just by the side of the road. So a couple of minutes stop here, and then heading on to the Crown Towers. I got told to go see them. Apparently it's like a huge shopping centre, casino, massive hotel complex, all that sort of stuff. So I'm gonna head down to the waterfront, that part of the CBD again, and then I'll probably round it up, to be honest. It's already getting on for 4:30 now, so I'm still waiting for the tram, so I don't think I'll be there before 5 or maybe 5ish, so give me about half an hour, 40 minutes, and then yeah, it's back to the hotel, which isn't too far away from there, which is, I've kind of planned this to go furthest away first, then go back in, so I'm near the hotel, grab my stuff from the hotel, and then it's on to the airport, baby. We're back to Sydney. 20 minutes later, after a little tram ride and a bit of a walk, I am here in the CBD. Now that tram got a little bit busy, although looking at the time of day it is 4:45, so you can imagine a lot of people finishing work. Got a little bit busier when we got in towards the centre, but it's understandable. So it's still nothing compared to London and the absolute chaos of trying to get around London at certain busy times of day. So yeah, busier but tolerable. One thing to point out here as well on this day, I could not have timed it any better. I don't think I've seen a single cloud all day. Now someone's probably going to be in the comments and timestamp somewhere where there's a cloud in the background, but I'm looking out for them now, and just to prove I'm not lying, not a single one. Not a single cloud in the sky. So on we go into CBD. The lights have changed just at the right time for me as well. Unlike Vietnam, green man means it's safe to cross, not means it's still dangerous to cross. We're out in the CBD, walking over the river, and there's still not a cloud in the sky. It's lovely. Oh, and just for anyone who's wondering, oh, why do they keep mentioning about there's no clouds in the sky? Honestly, if you're not from the UK, you might not, I don't know, you might not get it, but like, particularly summer last year in the UK, which obviously is the equivalent time of year for here in Australia, there was like no clear days at all. It's such a rare thing in the UK to get a clear day with no clouds. Like every single day, summer, fall, autumn, winter, spring, whatever season you want to call it, it seems to be cloud cover just all the time. So to have a nice clear day, it's something that I'd literally forgotten. I'd literally forgotten what it was like to experience it in somewhere that doesn't feel like a holiday destination. I know I'm here on holiday, but this place feels so homely already. But I'm 10,000 miles away from home. It's such a weird conundrum. It's such a weird feeling, a good feeling, but a weird feeling nonetheless to be so far away from home but have somewhere feel so homely and kind of take, you know, the English language and some of the better things about England here and just have it in this, what you can almost describe as paradise, to be honest. Melbourne, it's frequently listed in the top 5, top 10 cities to live in the world, much like a lot of Australia, to be honest. I think I've seen before in the top 10 frequently you've got Sydney, Perth and Melbourne, and normally Brisbane's not too far behind either. And having been to Sydney, now in Melbourne, been to Brisbane, and not been to Perth but know people who've been and heard about it, you can see why. You can fully see why. And having been to a few other places like Copenhagen that frequently feature in the top 10 as well, again you sort of see why those places do feature in the top 10 destinations for people to live across the world in this current day and age. And that is the Crown Towers, and no, not related to crown paint. I think crown paint's the only thing in the UK, but not related to crown paint. Is this thing gonna go? No? What happened there? It kind of sets the tone when you walk in and the first thing is a Ferragamo shop. Just sort of set the tone for the place, so we'll see what it's like in here. Got a big tennis ball in there. If anyone wasn't aware, the tennis was already on. They know when they came in here. So I'm going to go up to the top and see how high I can get and just see what it's like in here. I don't really know what to expect. I got told that it's something worth seeing. Got some little like waterfalls there. All feels very Las Vegas so far, to be honest, in here. And the restaurant down there as well, the Nobu. So you've literally got a Ferragamo store when you walk in with a Nobu on the right when you walk into this place. So again, it kind of sets the tone that it's not a cheap place. So we've got here the conservatory. Different to the bar in Leeds called conservatory. You see all sorts of things in here, little donut hole things and cakes, sweets. I think it's a function or something. There's an area down there with a function going on that you can't go towards. So I'm going to walk around here and see what is here. I'm told there's a casino and things here, which won't be going to a casino. Although the Aussies do love their gambling. The mad things here that I've seen, like everywhere, is the poke rooms. They just like, when I first said poke room, I was like, what the hell is a poke room? But the poke is like everywhere you go, every single bar, restaurant, pub almost, like there's a poke room in the back where it's just slot machines where you can go in and just piss your money away pretty much. Here's what we've got. Mixture of different things in here, casinos and whatnot. Some tapestry sort of thing there. Kind of gives the vibe of somewhere that I'm not supposed to be. It's very quiet and very fancy, so don't know how far we'll get. Oh, there's a pool. There's a pool here. I don't want to film that. I kind of feel bad just filming people in a pool, but see behind there's a pool area, which explains why it smells like chemicals, because it's probably chlorine. I thought it was bleach, but that'll be what it is. So yeah, not much to see in around here. Just a little tapestry thing. Just to finish off the opulence, you've got a Louis Vuitton store right there, because every hotel needs a bit of Louis Vuitton inside it. Oh, casinos down here as well. So if you don't fancy chucking your money at some expensive clothes, then you can chuck it at a expensive casino. Or what would be expensive for most people, unless you're the odd person who doesn't actually end up winning money in there. I know for a fact I will not be allowed to film in there, so it's going to be a walk path. I've learnt from my mistakes before in Vietnam for trying to film in a casino. It started and finished very quickly. But yeah. Casino place there, so if you are the sort of person who enjoys that, then you're in for a treat. Like I say, very Vegas-y feeling in here. I don't want to say glamour, it's not really glamour, but the expensive things and the casinos, it's a very Vegas-y vibe in here. If you do find yourself here on a rainy day as well, or you're struggling with things to do, there's also opposite from me right now is sea life. So I believe it's probably a bit more ethical than the ones in Orlando, where they start making killer whales do dances and stuff like that. Can't promise that, but they've got some penguins on the outside of it, so if you fancy seeing some stuff like that and you've not been to the deep in Hull, we've got it right here, right next to the water in Melbourne. And I can 100% assure you that Melbourne is a lot nicer than Hull. To this, you finish work, you work in or around the city, it's 5 o'clock, I can see plenty of business people sort of walking around now, and you've got this on your doorstep with so many restaurants that just look and smell amazing, loads of waterfront bars. Like, what more could you ask for than that? So even if you live out of the city, I know from my friend Tommy was saying yesterday, he's about 20-30 minute drive out, train, getting in, easy, it only costs a few pounds. So even if you live in the suburbs, getting into Melbourne for an evening like this is just so simple. So yeah, I'm genuinely so impressed by it. So impressed. I'm back in the hotel now, so I just headed back on the tram. It took about only like 10 minutes or so to get back, which is really good. Just getting the ticket now, if that's going to focus or not. Let's have a look on there, if you can see it there. So it's backwards, so it's hard to see, but it's $25 or just short of $25, so £12-ish for the bus over to the airport. I am going to get an Uber to Southern Cross Station because it's like a 10-minute walk, and my suitcases, the Suitcase Chronicles, they can't get any worse than what they've been so far on these past few weeks' trips. So I don't want to tempt fate. It handles like the Titanic, this suitcase, so I don't really fancy dragging it through the streets, to be honest. It's the worst handling suitcase I've ever had in my life. It's a trip one, for anyone who's wondering. And there's a good chance of me tripping or something, dragging this thing around, it getting stuck in something or going the wrong way. So yeah, I'm going to Uber it. That's only about $10 to get there, so it's going to cost me like 35 in total. Still not too bad. To get all the way out on Uber, I did check that, it's like $56. So yeah, not too fussed about that. I'll just jump on the bus. They come every 10 minutes as well. It only takes half an hour-ish from Southern Cross to get to the terminal. I'm going out of Terminal 4 today, which is the domestic terminal at Melbourne Airport. I'm not going from Avalon, I'm going from the normal Melbourne Airport. You can go from Avalon, but it's a lot further out. So I made sure specifically to get the Melbourne Tullamarine Airport, I think it's called. So yeah, I'm just going to book this now, book an Uber, and I'll see you guys at the airport. I actually ended up doing an Uber all the way here because that Sky Bus thing, oh my days, pain in the backside trying to organise that. The PayPal link wouldn't work, no Apple Pay, wouldn't accept my card, wouldn't let me put a British zip code in for my my card, the billing address, etc. Oh, what a pain. So actually, when I looked on Uber, I could find an Uber for $48. I was thinking, yeah, 35 for an Uber and then a bus, or do I just pay $10 more ish and get here for 25 quid. And that's what I did. So it was about 25-minute journey here, £25, so £1 a minute, decent rate. I'm here, it's 6:30, got plenty of time for the flight. I'll be able to drop off my bag now, just heading into the terminal here at Melbourne Airport. I have got a lounge here if I want to use it with the priority pass, so if it's open or if it looks decent, I'll head in there. Otherwise, I will grab, who knows what, maybe a Hungry Jack's. Like I said before, every single airport's got a Burger King, or in Australia, it's Hungry Jack's. So I'm sure they've got one here. I'll check it out, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Not a long flight to Sydney, only an hour or so, and then I'll be back there this evening, ready to hit out the last few days of this trip in Sydney. Jetstar Airlines, what an absolute pile of rubbish you are. I'm sorry. I'm here at the airport and it is 6:30. 6:30 for a 8:45 flight, right? So pretty decent timing. I thought I'd come in, and I'm actually looking, and for the first time on this trip, I was thinking, brilliant, I can just print the bag tag, and they've got something where you can just chuck the bag on. You don't have to queue for it like with Virgin Australia, and I've had to so far. So, thinking timing wise, perfect. Go to print the bag tag out. You can't print your bag tag out until 2 hours before. So I've now got to wait for 20 minutes for 2 hours for this 2 hour window to put the bag on. I asked the lady like what's the reason, and she just gave me some complete BS reasons as to why. Like, I don't get that at all. I do not get it in the slightest. I have never ever been to an airport where you come to drop a bag off within 3 hours of the flight, and it's not like, you know, I'm just put the bag on and go straight through to the plane. I've got to do security. Obviously, you board the plane. It's half an hour before the flight boarding starts. So yeah, my time here, by the time I do security and whatnot, I don't know how long I'll have. So that's kind of cocked up the evening a bit. So Jetstar, I'm sorry, but that is complete BS, complete nonsense. Do not agree with it. Never seen any other airline do it, and there's probably a reason why, because it's just stupid. So anyways, after getting here and making sure I give myself plenty of time, not like panicking or rushing anything like that, just because I want to get to the airport, chuck the bag, been out all day, I want to get here, more importantly I want to go get some food. I'm now just absolutely pissing about for 20 minutes for no reason, just so I don't get it. Anyways, we're here, I made it, had a great chat in the Uber with the guy. My driver was also called Chris, really nice guy. And yeah, it cost me $46, I checked. So only like $10 more that it was going to cost me for an Uber to the bus station and then the bus, and probably about 15 minutes quicker. So ironically, I may as well have gone for the long route because I can't check it anyways. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Jetstar, you know your place, you know my opinion of you. Thank you. All the bags now dropped off. That was fairly smooth once I finally got allowed to do it. Just had to sit for like 15-20 minutes and do nothing. So did that. Security, nice and quick, literally. I love these airports where you don't have to take anything out of your bags. No queue, no nothing, no more than a minute, like start to finish. Like, perfect. I am going to try out this lounge here. It's the same brand of lounge that I went to in Sydney. So I'll see what it's like. Maybe good, maybe bad. But if not, there's loads of stuff here. McDonald's, Subway, some Mexican place, some like Greek place, Portuguese, Vietnamese, just some like Asian buffet. So I have got tons of choice. But I will go and see if I can grab a drink or something even, just from this place first. So it's the REX Lounge, which is the one that I was in before. Well, that was the quickest lounge trip in history. It's shut. So I've been told there's a place called Quick Shots up here somewhere that I can go to, and if I show my priority pass, then I get like $25 or $35 as like a credit. So I'll go suss that out, see what Quick Shots even is, and yeah, we'll go from there. But as far as the lounge is going, it's not happening. Kept it nice and simple. What a Macca's. That's what they call it here. Well, it's called McDonald's though, but everyone knows it's Macca's. Gone for my Old Faithful, a double quarter pounder, got a fries, and then what else have we got? Oh yeah, just got a little $2 hamburger as well. The saving menu things here is different to like the UK and the US, I guess. You know, they have like a dollar menu and the
it was the 99p menu in the UK, then inflation happened, now it's just like the same menu. And then gone for the trusty Coke Zero as well. So I'm going to tuck into this, and then got a bit of time. I've got no lounge, so yeah, I'll just see where I end up. But just had to go to McDonald's. I saw it and I was like, I am so hungry. That cake, it filled me up early, that hot cake thing, but after I've done about 18,000 steps today, it's in the sun, it's soon warmed me out. So I'm going to tuck into this and then yeah, find somewhere to chill for a bit.
Today's episode of the Case Chronicles, you can see here, more damage. So look, flat, boom. Stay down, drop. That's from one trip, that's from this look. I'm not sure if it's the case or if it's just getting fucking battle everywhere it goes. So I've just listened back to the audio then, and the phone didn't really pick me up much, more the irritating little child behind that kept shouting and squealing. So, to summarise, the Case has taken yet another battering in this episode of the Case Chronicles. Every single flight I think I've taken on these trips in the past 2 weeks, it's come back with different dent, like damage of some sort, broken zips, everything. So, I don't know if it's the case that's crap. I mean, I've not had an issue so far, but every single flight time it comes out, it's got more damage to it, and it's just such a pain in the backside. Honestly, it's so annoying.